Curtis of Good with Greg, and this morning we're going to talk about buying a car. It's one of the installments in my series of how to get out of debt. For the name of the company is Good with Greg, and Good is an acronym for Get Out of Debt. So to tell you a little bit about myself, I actually sold cars many years ago for 7.5 years straight. I was a car salesman. So just to give you a little credentials about this particular topic, I know a little bit about what I'm talking about because I've seen it so much and so many times. I actually helped thousands of people get into cars over these 7.5 years that I did sell vehicles. So, what happens when someone buys a car? What happens when someone buys a car is the first thing that they think about is, how much money do I make? How much money do I make? How much money do I have left over after I pay my bills and all of that information? And then they go to the car dealership and they start to look around. They think they have enough, little bit saved up. And they give information to the car dealer and they say they're trying to find out how much the payment is going to be. The payment comes out to be, to give you an example of what a bank looks at, they say that you can afford to have a car note anywhere from 10% to 35% of your gross income. Yes, folks, I said gross. Gross is before taxes. Understand, gross takes hold of everything when you're buying stuff on credit. They ask what your gross income is. They don't ask what you take home. That's an important fact to remember in the subsequent videos that we have to come up later on this year. Now, gross income, say your gross income is $2,500 per month. That is a real figure for a lot of people in this city, Houston, Texas. So gross income, $2,500 a month. Say you take home about $2,000 a month, right? So if you're taking home $2,000 a month and you have saved up $2,000 for a down payment over the past, 4 to 6 months. Now you're ready to go get your vehicle. You go to this car dealership, they look at your information, they say, well, your first time buying a car, we're going to give you a higher interest rate due to that fact. Doesn't matter if you have a cosigner, doesn't matter if you have this, doesn't matter if you have that. We're going to give you a little bit higher interest rate due to this is your first time buying a car and we don't know if the banks can trust you with a lower interest rate. So they give you this vehicle, they show you a lot of different cars, and you come out of there with a payment of anywhere between $400 and $500 a month. Let's say $400 a month to go on the low side. So now you have $400 a month going to that car. Here's the thing that most people don't tell you when you buy a car. What comes along with that car? It's called cause and effect. Every cause has an effect. What comes along with buying that car? Now, not only did you inherit a car note of $400 per month for the next 60 to 72 months, you also inherited car insurance. Again, it's your first time buying a car. You don't know all of this information that goes along with it. When you're purchasing a vehicle, you have to have full coverage insurance. Full coverage insurance, for those of you that don't know, is comprehensive and collision. Collision covers the vehicle you're driving. Comprehensive covers the vehicle that you got into an accident with if it was your fault. Liability is going to pay for somebody else's car if you hit them. Now, $400 a month is going to be your car note. If you're going to follow me here, please write this down if you need to. $400 a month is going to be your car note. Your insurance is going to be anywhere from $200 to $400, depending on who you are. So let's say $200 a month on the low side is going to be your car insurance. So now that car is not costing you $400 a month. That car is costing you $600 a month. So what do you have left over from that $2,000 that you take home? You now have $1,400. Now, what else comes along with that vehicle? Gas. You now have to put gas in that car. If you got that vehicle so that you can get a lot of different places every single day, you're going to have to fill up at the least amount once a week. Because if you know anything about people that first get their first vehicle, they drive a lot. They become chauffeurs. They become the person that drives to the club. They become the person that drives everyone everywhere. And then they find themselves in a lot of different places that they wouldn't have been in if they didn't have a car. Ladies and gentlemen, that means gas per week. Now, I don't know if you've paid attention to the gas prices, but they've went up recently. Usually here in America, gas prices go up astronomically in the summer versus what they do in the winter. So gas is going to cost you fill up per week, depending on the type of vehicle that you bought. At that $400 a month, you're going to be spending somewhere between $20 and $50 per week on gas. So let's go in the middle. Let's say you're spending $35 a week on gas. 35 times 4 weeks, that's going to be an extra $140 a month. Now, $140 a month plus the $600 that you're spending because you have $400 a month on the car note, $200 a month on the insurance. Now you're up to $740 a month. Remember, you got that $400 a month based on your gross income of $2,500. So now you're up to $740 a month. You subtract that from the $2,000 that you take home. That's going to leave you with $1,260. $1,260 is what you have to live on. Now, question. What were you spending when you were saving that $2,000? Were you spending $1,000 a month? Probably not. You were probably spending $1,400 a month due to the fact that you were able to save $500 and you had an extra $100 to play with. But you went and got a car note of $400 a month based on you being able to save effectively $500 a month. But the $500 a month is not what that car is costing you. $400 a month is not what that car is costing you. That car is costing you essentially out of nothing else. We're not even talking about the extra times that you go out and you get to spend money on food. We're not talking about the extra places that you get to go because now you have a car. You get to go to these different cities. You get to go to these different concerts. You get to go to these different places and you're spending extra money based on the fact that you have a vehicle now. We're talking about solely the vehicle itself. Gas, insurance, and car note. $740 a month is what this vehicle is costing you. This is the effect of going to buy a car. Ladies and gentlemen, the only real fix for that is patience. If you have patience enough to save enough money to go ahead and buy you a car cash, then guess what? You will be able to buy that car and still be able to live effectively on that same $2,000 a month. But it's patience. Patience is the hardest thing to have as a human being, especially in today's society. If you have the patience to go ahead and buy that car cash, or to have enough patience to save 75% of what that vehicle is going to cost you, then you may not need to have $400 a month for that car note. You may be able to have $100 a month for that car note, $200 a month for that car note. And you will be able to effectively continue to live because you'll still have the $200 a month on insurance and spend the $140 a month on gas. So that's $340 plus the $200 for the car note, $540 instead of $740. Now that $500 a month that you were saving, you only had to put $40 with it in order to afford that vehicle. Again, I hope that you all please did take notes. Buy a car cash. That's the best thing to do. If not, save up. Be patient. Then you can afford the vehicle that you want. This was Greg Curtis with Good with Greg to help you all get out of debt. Thank you. We'll talk.